calls upon. So in that thing, you call upon states to do so and so. Or you express serious concern, blah, blah, blah. Or you reaffirm, and so forth. Now to practice that, you are now going to be the Hungry Children Council, and you're going to write a resolution to go to Burger King and buy a couple of burgers. Sounds stupid, but bear with me, because the good thing is you don't have to think about any of the fancy words. You don't have to think about international and humanitarian, humane and whatever law. You don't have to think about nuclear disarmament and proliferation. You only have to think about Whoppers, French fries, Coke, and perhaps some ketchup. Or chicken nuggets or whatever you want to have. So the idea is to write a resolution on going to Burger King. Now, how do you go about doing that? What is the first point you have to put in? Any ideas? Look at that resolution again. Say it again. No, before that? Huh?
Something that has been already done.
Before that?
Yes.
Even before that? Exactly. Who is saying this? So you've got to say the Hungry Children's Club. You can just say we. There's nothing else than just saying we or the club. So the first phrase is going to be the Hungry Children's Club. Exactly. And then the first step, that's what you said, is going to be what has been done so far. Now, huddle together in your groups and come up with something, or let's not huddle together, let's go through it now. What could have been done before? Let's say we start the thing with remembering. You see, reaffirming here, we'll say remembering. Say that loud. Perfect.
Remembering the delicious taste of French fries.
Exactly. Remember the delicious taste of French fries. That says.
Remembering the price of
Burgers. Whatever. Right.
Also find the way.
Huh?
Find the way.
Not yet. Not yet. That's something else. Remembering. I'd even say remembering the last time at Burger King. That's like remembering past resolutions. But then, of course, and the good taste, and so forth. Okay, that's what has been done so far. Now, why do you write that resolution? Wishing to eat something. Or let's rather say wishing to get rid of a terrible hunger. You know, UN resolutions are always grand. They always, they show off the language. Aware of their terrible hunger, wishing to get rid of it. Now I've got 3 preamps, and that's all they're saying here. It's not about hunger, it's about human rights and counter-terrorism. But the principle is the same. So now what operative clauses could you have? You want to go to Burger King. Now imagine, Now imagine, not everyone knows the way. You can point. What could you point? Decides to use mobile apps to find the way. Appoints a leader to lead the way. You can't decide to find something, but you can decide to search for a map. Right? So you've got to think, okay, what do I want, and how do I do that? How do I go there? Okay, decides to use mobile maps, or to search for a map, or to appoint a leader. That's, getting someone else to do something.
Money.
Okay, right, yeah. Fair enough. But I'm moving on a bit because I'm trying to sort of get it back to, but yeah, actually, yes, good point. How do you get the money for all those things? So the UN would ask national governments or whatever, or you could establish a fund. Establish a food fund for hungry children, which is just, the money going there. Don't take it too seriously, Also, decides to get up. You've got to get going at some point. And those are different things. And now you'll see something. Because you can't say, decides to have money from the parents. You can't decide what the parents are going to do.
Requesting some money from requesting someone.
Yeah. Exactly. You can request, or you can decide to request, or you can decide to appoint a commissioner to make sure you get it. Can, have many layers between. And that's always important in resolutions. Be aware of what you can do. Can you actually decide to set the Forum on Business Rights agenda? No, you can't. That's why you have to withdraw your First Amendment. But you can decide to ask them to do so. And those are things you always have to keep in mind. Now, that was an easy example. Now, I'd still like you to get together in small groups and write a short resolution containing, let's say, 3 preambulatory clauses and 4 or 5 operative clauses. And one more thing. I think in a good resolution, I've been saying about that outside, that doesn't always happen, not even in UN documents, but in a good resolution, the preambles sort of pose questions or problems that are answered in the operative clauses. There's always some sort of correlation. So if you say decides to raise money from their parents, you should have a preamble saying aware of our lack of money. If you decide to pay out of your own pocket, you should say happy about the money we have with us. Try to have them sort of correspond. That doesn't mean you have to have a preamble for every operative clause. It could mean you need 5 operative clauses to fit or to answer one preamble. It could mean you have 2 preambles and can sort of deal with them in 2 operative clauses. What could be a good topic to write a resolution on?
Natural human rights.
Huh?
Natural human rights.
No. As easy as possible. Something really stupid. Okay. You are the ENU Model United Nations Club, and you now write a resolution in which you decide to hold next year's NU EMA 2018. Go to the last 2 rows, you write that resolution, you'll get another one. And I'm going to think of that in a minute. And do think of, what are your preambles, what are your operative clauses, just try to make it as UN-ly as possible. You can turn it into a stupid topic. It doesn't have to be perfect, It's all about understanding the principle, not so much about understanding, how to organize a conference. Okay. You are going to. Okay. Let's find a middle solution. You're going to buy a new dinner suit. Jim. Look. Look, he's got a shirt and he's got blue trousers. You can't go like that to meet the Queen for an official dinner, or the President. But he's invited. He's invited for dinner with the President next week. It says black tie dinner. You now write a resolution to go and buy that. Because you are part of this United Nations Club, whatever. Okay? I'll give you 20 minutes. Is that okay?
Sure.
If you're quicker, it's also good, but I'll give you 20 minutes for now.
Right. Remember the official remembering the official dress code. Remembering an official.
Also, think of what would be a logical order of your preamps and operative clauses. So just for instance, I've got the dress code example over here. Before remembering the dress code, perhaps be aware of the invitation. Right? So be aware in which order should things be done, what belongs together. Just try to pay attention to that and try to make a fun resolution on that. You can do it in writing on a piece of paper, you can do it on your computer, whatever you want to, just to have some fun with that and do some writing test on that, okay?
Okay. Remembering the demands of an official black and white dress code. The meeting. Wishing to present yourself. I remember an official. I am looking forward to take pictures. And guys, welcome to take another mission. The fourth step. I'm looking forward to take А если преподаватель прогнозирует, что у нас в клабе, а он идет на что от объединения взять? Нет, можно написать. Ну, типа, ну, не просто так идет, да, чтобы на крышу сказала. Да, ты как спасибо, что такое дело. Чтобы она одобрила. А вот сюда входит remember in addition to present myself from the best side. Чтобы она тоже поняла это.
Myself and achieving my national interest.
And actually our group maybe
Groups interest.
yeah,
Achieving our groups interest. Looking for
все, да? Все пошло. Все, да.
to suit to the official date. I suit to the demands of official date.
Ну что это? Почему же мы потому что мы не ну да, remember the luckily абсолютно отсутствие. Видите? Они в Гиннес там какая-то группа репрезентативная. Почему мы решаем его проблему как положение?
Да.
Ну, только один. Один? Давайте он один идет, он напишет своего имени. Это группа не надо. Я если он будет
Вы можете добавить.
ладно, remember the event is remember that this actions. А я уже голову идут. Если so this person request да? Нам нужно вот это. А, вот эти, кстати, должны быть 3, вот эти вот 4. 2, 3, 4. Да, вот такие. Голова, 3, 4, 4. Потом 3, 4, больше не надо. Ну, релевантно же даже нет, что вообще нет.
Нет, но я у нас
Это не обязательно.
Кстати, да. Я буду тут брала, как интересно, что?
Release taking
Ну, же один
situation.
New patient
Дело в том, что
officer.
почему решать Представьте, кто он пришел.
Any doctor in both European City.
Процесс можно убрать требования концентрации даты. New efficient.
New patient.
New efficiency from other.
I can't remember this one.
Encourage myself to go to the encourage myself to go.
It's half time, you've got another 10 minutes.
Но это и тоже берется. Мы учили фэшн. Стилист.
Что, тебя серьезно консервировали?
Encourage myself. Encourage myself by as quickly as possible.
А в этом день где уж? Мы скажем, когда получить зарплату, то, что скоро вот вышла лекция, и еще у него получается ивент, да. Нет. Что получается, вот настоящий сейчас? Давайте сейчас рассказаем, так, давайте. Нет, это как? Today, last week. Все, так, давайте ставим. Какие-то косметические. Еще так.
Теперь expressions responsibility importance of
Show serious concern.
not eager to spend my money. Нужно
Знаете, ну, спасибо, формат.
нам все покупают
Им уже рассказали, что теперь вы должны что здесь.
Ну, пока что пишем.
Окей, это что? Что нормально было давай. Типа, может, не хватает. Color название. Нет,
давайте
у нас
закончим.
колдун бесплатно хватает. Поэтому Райт получил. Он идет. Ну, короче, если экспрессион. Где экспрессион? Где экспрессион? Ну, что не все, да?
Да, живот,
Типа, что он делает, пойдет к вашему банку и те снимет карту.
Да. Ну, сказали, что у него эти салари есть. Есть? Да. Он делает что-то, да? Давай.
Hurt myself and go to the bank to take my money, so hurt myself to get to the bank.
4 more minutes.
And take my money. Просто гитап. Я даже не знаю, как было. Ты уже должен сказать гитап. Нет, нужно. You realize that this event is important. Let's go to there. Лучше говорить, там связка не будет.
Найти место.
Это первое. Express myself. Здесь salary, второе. Там теперь очень занимает.
Третий, да? Сейчас надо написать, как найти место, что классно.
Да, нужно использовать social app, чтобы
Да, да. Или кого-нибудь друзья, которые знают.
Вот какого года?
Может, да, попросить кого-нибудь помочь ему увидеть, что красивое или...
Marcela has mind the ways. Find the way. By using
Вы нашли место и...
You probably choose the most suitable black and white. Голубый глотая. Nose is concerned with it.
1 more minute, so prepare to finish your resolution, please.
Все внимание подойти, да? Да, там можно глубоко осознавание. Он сюда Арджи может дикую такую presenting myself from the past. Дальше делать. То есть я вообще не знаю, почему первое слово. Мы же про importance of legal society вот здесь official events.
Да.
Ну, вот здесь вот должно быть глаголы, то есть встать, взять карточку, подойти к машине, сунуть деньги, пройти в магазин, прийти в магазин, прийти в магазин. Может быть, здесь нужно типа ответить на invitation, то есть я пойду там.
And please finish your writing process and return to the first few rows for us to continue our lovely little training session.
Что хотите, кто платит? Сначала отвечаешь, я не знаю, а потом пойдешь и берешь деньги.
Just one response.
Да.
Подождите, он отвечает на... Да.
Потом мне стали делать руки. Потом поделили одежду. Уже надо беспокоиться, как там... Когда заделают, когда встречается...
Please finish and return to the front. Thank you. Team MUN conference, please return.
Okay. Have you typed it on a computer, or have you written it on a piece of paper? Okay. You've typed it. Would the team computer like to quickly read out your resolution?
Sure. Camilla Fulbeck, receiving an invitation to the official meeting with the Queen of UK, receiving salary the last week, taking into consideration that the new fashion dinner suit was released from Armani, remembering the demands of an official black and white dress code to the meeting, remembering and wishing to present myself from the best side, and looking forward to take the relevant actions. First, reply to the invitation to the official meeting with the Queen of the UK. Second,
Could you just quickly come to the podium so we've got it for the camera? Sorry about that.
That's fine.
From the very, very beginning?
Yeah, do it again. I mean, you're on camera now. Wave quickly. Wave into the camera. Go over there. Wave.
Hi.
Good. Now you can speak again.
Okay. Camilla Fulbeck, receiving an invitation to the official meeting with the Queen of UK, receiving salary the last week, taking into consideration that the new fashion dinner suit was released from Armani, remembering the demands of an official black and white dress code to the meeting, remembering and wishing to present myself from the best side, and looking forward to take the relevant actions. First, reply to the invitation to the official meeting with the Queen of UK. Second, urge myself to get to the ATM and get my money. Third, call upon myself to find a way to the shop Armani by using a mobile application. Fourth, note with concern to buy the most suitable dinner suit.
Okay. Thank you.
And could we have someone from the other group presenting their draft resolution? Of course, also from the podium, because we need to have exactly.
We didn't finish it yet, but like what we have right now,
Totally
Is it
okay.
okay, yeah?
Just do whatever you have.
Okay, so Executive Board resolution acknowledging the great success of previous International Model United Nations 2017, 31st of May, and other previous International Model United Nations, appreciating the impact of our sponsors on promoting prosperity among young people and increasing the level of involvement and awareness of international organizations, being impressed by the positive results we got by the help of participants and organizational committee. First, requesting UN Department in Kazakhstan to be sponsor of International Model United Conference 2017 and cover its expenses. Second, to take further steps to involve more participants from various countries. Third, looking for, yes, that's it. The third one was a mistake.
Okay. Now what I'd like you to do is to amend the other party's resolution. So if Team Dinner Suit could perhaps, or just post it in the Facebook group resolution, and you'll obviously have to share your thingy piece of paper. And now you return to the places you had before, and you don't just rewrite it, but you write proper amendments. As in, okay, we need to add, just say amendment 1, new clause to be added after clause 5 or before clause 6, whatever. You can change clauses, you can add clauses, you can scratch some if you want to, but try to write amendments and think about why that's important. Not just because you want to add something, but if you only find one amendment that's really important, that's better than writing 10 amendments that are just for the sake of saying something. So try to think about, okay, what's still missing, and how can we make that more agreeable? Yes. Sure. Okay. Then try to return and try to do that if possible. And I invite both parties to do it on a laptop or cell phone if possible, because that's easier than for sharing later. But if not possible, do it on piece of paper. Be careful, please. Perhaps Team Dinner Suit this time can go to the back. It's only fair for Team Dinner Suit to move, and Team Enumon Club can stay in the front, so you don't disturb each other.
Получается, они говорят, что это последний был удачный, да? Что они хотят решить, что следующий еще раз?
Первое, они решили, мы можем, чтобы найти канун, что нужно сделать. Не только найти канун.
Можно хорошо. Да.
Обойти сначала всех лиц, да, и план работы.
Нужно положить образом. Счетчик, важно.
Да, никто увидит.
Сердечко.
Нужно написать спонсора.
Non-governmental organization will cover its own lines. Очень сложно без контактов. Где качество, да, да,
I'll give you, let's say, about 5 more minutes. Just have some amendments. It's not about having a perfect thing in the end. Just, to get you into writing amendments, okay?
Университетом.
Раньше надо было строить какие-то правильные объявления. И тоже брать больше.
Yes, please. Perfect.
Are they interviewing?
Yeah.
And also, by the way, just I think there is bus coming at 6 to take us.
I know, we're breaking in a few minutes.
Can we?
Yes, but only
I don't think I understand your question. Thanks. If you are going to get this, I think old people are good. I don't think they're printing out, certificates. And by the way, if you want to print out, you want to print out yourself. But that's what you have on your computer. You're trying to understand how better. You don't want to print out one. You can also print it out yourself. I have no idea what things they're printing, but it's going to say discipline at the conference, representing Whitewatch or international, and that's what should be said for next one. I don't know when you're going to get certificates, but you did participate, so you are going to get the certificate of participation. You have, which is Whitewatch, and I'm international. Sure, I mean,
This for us is really.
I don't, and I think go for the digital, because the printout one is, you can't send it away. You've got to scan it anyway. And if you've got the digital one, you have it online, you have it digital. You can always print it out and hang it on your wall. But then again, you're not going to do that. Something like that pretty. Sure.
Okay, 2 more minutes, please.
Are we ready to say?
Huh?
Are we ready?
Ah, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't.
Я писала какие-то гайды, например, а здесь нету, вот куда можно пойти, да,
Где-то нужно кушать, куда-то нужно ходить. И мне кажется, по логистике очень надо сильную. Например, волонтеры, они кушают, они знают, где вас кормят, что, где другие.
Их надо подготовить, надо, да.
У вас есть координаты? Сейчас позвонил. Еще пропал человек, да? Волонтеры, количество. Мне, например, эта гайд, книжка понравилась, там телефон, секьюрити, немножко там даже если покушать, номера все, адреса,
And please come back to the front. And I'll tell you how to proceed. Now, I do suppose you've got an idea of how to write a resolution now. Do you? Good. And I think you've also got an idea of how to do amendments, because the amendments we had earlier today, they were quite good already. The only thing that now could be added, and I think you've done that now, is sort of understanding how the resolution works in the first place. And that's important, I guess, for being able to write good amendments. I'd encourage those who did the typing to perhaps post the amendments on the Facebook group, so you can, have a look at them and see what you think of others' amendments and give feedback, whatever, outside committee hours. If we can do that now or soon, that would be great. Because after that, I would like to add another document to the Facebook group. And this document is going to contain 3 paragraphs. And that's your homework for tomorrow, and it's important that everyone listens. That's going to be your homework for tomorrow in that, basically, because, it's a conference, we're not done. And it's got 3 paragraphs, or blocks, one could say. The first paragraph concerns, which you're going to see in a second, concerns Latvia, Japan, and the United States of America. The second one, Brazil, Georgia, Panama, and Kyrgyzstan. I put them in there for good measure, but I'm not sure if she's coming back or whatever. But if she's coming back, she's with that lot of people. And the third one, Burundi, Côte d'Ivoire, and Egypt. And below every 3 countries, there's written sort of a short 4-line long description of your general position. Like, for instance, for Latvia, Japan, and the United States, it's going to say, you think women's rights are immensely important. You also believe that all countries should adhere to Western standards anyway. If they don't, there might be the need for sanctions and sending in special rapporteurs, etc. Countries need to be controlled and women's rights finally respected. For Brazil, Georgia, Kyrgyzstan, and Panama, it says, you understand that women's rights is an important issue. However, you also see that your countries still have some problems. And to be honest, there is a difference between women and men, and you want to preserve that. Women have rights, but they are not exactly the same as men. Also, you despise any sanctions that could endanger your economy. Women's rights can only be achieved if you have a strong economy. They are a luxury not everyone can afford. And for Burundi, Côte d'Ivoire, and Egypt, it says, you don't understand the idea of women's rights. What do they mean by that? You are treating women perfectly. That is the way they are supposed to be treated. Women's place is in the kitchen and at home. Everything else is actually a violation of their rights. The West forces them to go out and work. It is the sacred duty of a husband to provide for his wife. That is now the position you as a country are going to adopt. I know this is not 100% correct for all of the countries, but I had to shift you around for a bit to make it slightly interesting and then have 3 groups that are somewhat similar. Now you 3, or 4 countries in one case, are now allies, and you will want to draw up a draft resolution. I am going to accept up to 3 draft resolutions. I'm happier, though, if you only hand in 2. That means maybe you want to work together with another bloc already to form a consensus position, because in the end, you'll need the others' votes. The US can't pass their resolution without the Panama, Georgia, and Brazil bloc getting on board. You can't get your stuff through. On the other hand, Egypt can't do that either without the middle bloc. Or perhaps you can even find a common ground with the US. I don't know. Do some negotiation among yourself and try to write a resolution. This is not about being a long resolution, having 24, 25 clauses. Put in, I'd say, no more than 5 preambulatory clauses and no more than 10 operative clauses. I'd say you should have at least, let's say, 2 to 5 preambulatory clauses and 5 to 10 operative clauses. If it's 11, it's okay. But make it at least 5. And don't go too far. Don't aim too high. Go for 5 to 10, but make them good. I'll accept up to 3 resolutions. I'd rather have only 2. I'm going to upload the document so you can have your position to read. And on your way out, each of you is going to collect a little slip of paper that contains some extra secret goals each country has that are not known to the others, that you're not going to tell the others. Now, Australia, to take them again, they are a Western country, but you know, they don't like their Aborigines, so they don't want anything that perhaps forces them to allow Aborigine women into jobs. That would be their special target. It's small things usually, but just to spice up things a bit and to make sure maybe you will want to leave your block. But be sure you go for a mixture of that paper and what's written over there. And try to write a draft resolution until tomorrow. And be also be sure to contact Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International, who will obviously also always be on the side of the poor and the weak and so forth. Okay? Don't make it too long, make it precise and make it good, and we'll go from there tomorrow morning. All right? So, we're going to meet tomorrow at 9 sharp. It's going to be roll call, and I hope you still enjoy your evening. Don't work until 2 o'clock in the morning. If it's only 2 preambles and 4 operative clauses at 1:30, go to bed. Good night.
Сейчас open air. Вы хотите, да, поехать to? Do you want to go to open air?
Latvia?
At 6 o'clock we have to meet here at first floor. And outside of main. Да.
Где мост, да?
Не, вот.
Japan will get this later. Brazil, you're...
Вместе едем, да?
Да.
Сколько времени займет дорога?
There you are.
Вот оттуда до
USA.
здесь.
If you can't read it, approach me later. Or send me a picture or whatever. Don't show it to other people. Don't show it to other people. That's your secret. Japan. There you go. Brazil. Georgia. And Egypt. Don't show it to other people. Only show it to me if you can't read it. Or if you can't read it, send me a picture and ask me what exactly I mean by that. But it's a general approach. Try to be creative with it.
Keep that in mind and still stick up to our positions.
Yeah.
It's your device to us.
Huh?
Advice.
I know in some cases there seems to be this sort of contradiction, but I mean that's the way it usually is, right? You never know because there's always 2 things you might want, and you never know which one to go for.
Yeah, I told them, but
And I'm uploading your country's positions right now.
yeah.
Not correctly.
That's your position now. That's Burundi's position now on for the women's rights. And that's what it's going to negotiate. Okay.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Giovanna. Exciting.
Сейчас переодевайтесь. На автобусе сами поедете. Если кто хочет,
А где концерт будет?
монумент Казани. Оно рядом. То есть пирамиду знаете? Пирамиду знаете? Рядом.
То есть на улице будет концерт, да?
Я должна там сделать, чтобы летом попался, понимаешь?
Okay, another point. Draft resolutions usually don't mention countries' names. You don't write a resolution saying what the United States should do. You write a resolution what the world should do. You will say nations, states, maybe developing countries or developed countries. But don't say this or that. Also, don't say what the status quo is. Don't say aware of the fact that United States are great. Don't say that. You say aware of the fact that many things still need to be done, perhaps, and then say what's to be done.
Good question, though.